12 things only an enlightened one understands, when more than just a light comes to us. Achieving enlightenment is probably one of life's greatest, yet most rewarding challenges. This state means something different to everyone, and yet we have similar, if inaccurate, ideas about it. Summarized succinctly, the quest for enlightenment means the yearning for more. Anyone who is just a little spiritually inclined already knows deep down that the world we can see is not the big picture. There must be more beyond the horizon of our conscious perception. That's where the higher understanding and wisdom begin, but most importantly, the ability to see the world with more than just our eyes. We would like to present you here 12 realizations that go along with the state of enlightenment. 1. We actively shape creation. We humans are not guests or visitors on this world who, like after a vacation, leave again and go somewhere else for their real life. Our stay on this planet is part of a plan that God, the universe, or other higher powers have devised. Each of our actions is an act of creation and should therefore be marked by a sense of responsibility and respect. Like the cogs of a clockwork, all of our deeds, however insignificant, mesh together and add up to contribute to world events. 2. Every human being has struggles to fight. We see only the surface in every encounter with other people. Many also cultivate a certain image, a facade, behind which they can protect their true self and hide it from all eyes. What goes on inside them or at home behind closed doors remains hidden from us in most cases. Empathy and sympathy, or at least understanding, are therefore deserved by each of our fellow travelers without having to explain themselves. We have no idea of the tragedies and grievances, illnesses, or existential fears that every single person standing in front of us at the checkout in the supermarket or sitting next to us on the bus has to deal with on a daily basis. 3. It must sometimes get worse so that it can get better. The suffering, pain, and hopelessness are very often nothing more than tickets to a better life. If we so choose, sometimes we need a cosmic kick in the butt, because otherwise we would not move from our spot. Great misfortune can therefore mean great happiness. If our existence was always comfortable and pleasant, we would not dare to step out of our comfort zone and never develop our full potential. 4. The outside fades, the inside remains. Those who devote their happiness in life to the accumulation of material goods, titles, or the cultivation of status and image, or good looks, will never be permanently happy. All these things are transient and will be disposed of at the end of our lives. Our personal development, inner attitude, and harmonious relationships, on the other hand, remain a part of us forever. 5. Nothing is permanent. Everything is in a state of flux. Life can sometimes be quite fast-moving. Therefore, in good times we should enjoy every second. In bad times we should comfort ourselves with this prospect. 6. Acceptance in all situations of life is the key to freedom. It is what it is. This is not only said by Love in the famous poem by Eric Fried. The wisdom of enlightenment also teaches us this when we have finally reached it. The sooner we come to terms with not being able to keep everything under our control, the sooner peace of mind and inner serenity can set in. 7. Everything in life has a meaning. Yes, really everything. It does not always reveal itself to us immediately, but the moment of realization comes at some point. This view of life and its ups and downs costs us humility and requires a lot of trust in the benevolence of the higher powers from us. 8. The value of gratitude is immeasurable. If there is one thing that every person, religious or not, should believe without reservation, it is the power of gratitude. Those who recognize each day what they have already received will never again have to experience lack or deprivation. 9. We look at our life story with different eyes. Those who may count themselves among the enlightened will suddenly also see the past in a different light. All the stages of our journey now make sense in retrospect. No tragedy, no disappointment, and no defeat was in vain. On the contrary. And those people who hurt us the most were the most important teachers for us. 10. Enlightenment dwells within us. Those who invest a lot of time and money to search for enlightenment in ashrams, temples, or monasteries all over the world will be disappointed. No amount of money in the world and no life-changing measure can really help us in this search. Why? Because the person who sets out on this path is always the same. Whether in the jungles of South America or at the summit of Mount Everest, the head on our shoulders and the heart in our chest always remain the same. The divine spark that ignites the flame of enlightenment is something we all already carry within us. 11. Happiness must be defined by each person for himself. It is useless to be guided by the desires and ambitions of our fellow human beings in the search for contentment and happiness. There are as many ideas of happiness as there are people in the world. What money, status, and influence are for some is for others a life without obligations and deadlines. Everyone may or must define for themselves what fulfills, delights, and ultimately enlightens them. 12. Our thoughts shape our world. We carry great power within us and therefore a great responsibility. However, we are usually not even aware of this fact. Every thought that our brain formulates sends out a frequency. We cannot see, hear, or feel it, but it is there. We carry it out into the world, where it meets somewhere with resonance. Measured by the estimated number of thoughts that frequent our mind daily, this results in a considerable amount of energy that we release. Good thoughts reflect thereby exclusively good, negative ones to 100% negative. The law of attraction works 24 hours a day, and we have no influence on its mode of operation. But we can influence what we feed it with. So pay special attention to your thoughts, because they are the beginning of the well-known causal chain of Charles Reed, at the end of which, as we know, is our destiny. The longing for more. To strive for enlightenment basically means nothing else than to satisfy the eternal longing that lies dormant in every human being. The visible cannot be all that we have to expect from life. The search for this more occupies many people throughout their lives. Some already grow up with this knowledge, yet others succeed in acquiring it. Being already on the path to enlightenment is probably half the battle. An open mind and a life of gratitude and acceptance usually do the rest. Enlightenment is like love. We don't find it, it finds us.